Did you know that when you are so exhausted that your body is begging you to rest, but you still keep going anyway, that your spirit literally steps away from the body? Your willpower and resilience pushed too far can create enormous dissonance between all the parts of you. Your body collapses, your mind is still strong, and your spirit is like, whoa, I'm pulling back here because you're going to implode. So today I'm going to deep dive into Bach Flower Remedy Oak and go beyond the usual explanation. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a Bach flower specialist and healer, and on this channel I help sensitive, self-aware people heal emotional patterns and improve their lives using the beautiful Bach flower remedies in a deeper and more transformative way. And if you want to learn how to heal your emotions and your life using these beautiful Bach flower remedies, then check my link in the description because I created my course Bloom into Balance specifically for that. And if you're completely new here and want to understand what the remedies are, how they work, and how you can use them in your life, then you can join the Remedy Circle for free. Check all my links in the description or in the pinned comment. So let's have a look at Oak. Oak is for people who keep going. People who endure, survive, carry responsibility long after they should have rested. And these are often the people others really admire. The dependable ones, the strong ones, the people everyone leans on. But very often inside, they are exhausted. The oak tree itself has always been seen as sacred in many ancient traditions. It represents strength, endurance, stability, resistance, survival, and the oak personality often carries exactly these same qualities. They are powerful people, not weak people pretending to be strong, genuinely strong people. People with enormous willpower, enormous endurance, people who can continue long after others would have collapsed. But the problem begins where the strength becomes rigidity, because the oak type slowly starts believing that life is only valuable through effort, struggle, performance, responsibility, and achievement. And somewhere along the way, they forget softness, joy, and rest. They forget that life is not only meant to be conquered. The oak type often treats life as a permanent battle, even during difficult periods. They refuse to stop, refuse to surrender, refuse to admit weakness. And this is why oak people often hear things like, "You're so strong. I don't know how you do it. You always keep going." But what people often do not see is the pressure on the inside, because the oak person frequently feels they must continue even when exhausted, even when emotionally empty, even when the body is already screaming. And eventually the nervous system starts paying the price. So this remedy is often connected to people who become overly tense, rigid, overworked, emotionally hardened, unable to relax. The body can start reflecting this inner rigidity with tightness, stiffness, burnout, chronic tension, inflammation, feeling mentally and physically stretched too far. And one of the saddest things about the oak state is that these people often do not even allow themselves to feel exhausted. They minimize it, they push through, they ignore it. They can go on for years without truly resting, because deep inside, many oak personalities are afraid that if they stop, everything will collapse. The family, the business, the responsibilities, the people depending on them. And so they become almost like a machine, a tool, a pillar everyone uses, but no tree can survive forever without nourishment. On a transformational level, the deeper problem with the oak personality is that they become so dutiful, so responsible, so dependable that they slowly create a life where everyone begins depending on them too much. People count on them constantly, trust them, need them constantly. And because the oak person almost always says yes, keeps going, keeps carrying more than they should, they do eventually end up trapped inside the very role they created. So this becomes kind of an inner paradox, because what the oak person truly needs is actually very simple. They need to do less, to let go more, to stop carrying everything alone. But by the time they realize this, they have often already pushed themselves far beyond the point where letting go still feels easy or safe. And this creates a profound imbalance inside of them. Their spirit is still incredibly strong. Their willpower is still incredibly strong. Psychologically, they keep forcing themselves forward, but emotionally, they begin collapsing. And physically, the body is often already exhausted long before the mind admits it. So all the different layers of the person slowly stop working together harmoniously. The spirit signals to stop pushing, the mind keeps enduring, but the emotions and the body are desperately trying to slow everything down. And the oak person usually feels this mismatch very deeply. They know something is wrong. They sense they cannot continue like this forever. They often secretly long for rest, softness, freedom, simplicity, but they cannot simply snap out of it by themselves, because this pattern has become part of their identity. And this is exactly where oak becomes such an important remedy. Oak helps reconnect all these different parts again. It softens the excessive inner pressure. It helps the person realize they do not need to earn their worth through endless endurance. And it allows strength to become balanced again instead of destructive. The person remains reliable, courageous, and powerful, but no longer at the cost of their emotional and physical well-being. And this is where the deeper spiritual lesson for oak begins. What many oak people do not realize is that deep underneath their endless perseverance, there is often something very spiritual happening. Oak personalities often have a deep, sometimes unconscious awareness of the preciousness of life, of the soul, of existence itself. Somewhere inside they feel the immensity of being alive, the immense value of the spirit, almost the immortality of the soul. And because of that, they can start feeling as though they must deserve this life, as though they must earn their existence through effort, duty, endurance, sacrifice, responsibility, and constant perseverance. And that is why many oak people work so hard, why they carry so much, why they continue long after others would have already stopped. It is not simply ambition. Very often it is a profound sense of inner responsibility toward life itself. And that is also why many oak personalities feel like older souls, people who instinctively understand that life is meaningful, serious, sacred, but who then become crushed beneath the weight of that realization. The burden becomes too heavy, and somewhere along the way, the oak personality forgets something very essential. That life is not only meant to be carried through force. They forget to allow themselves to be guided by the higher self. The higher self also has a duty, and they just don't allow the higher self to take them by the hand for a more gentle and easy life, instead of allowing the higher self to gently lead them through life more fluidly, more intuitively, more naturally. They begin controlling everything through willpower alone. They grip life instead of moving with it. And because of this, they lose softness, rest, flow, and trust. But the higher self is not harsh like the exhausted oak personality becomes towards itself. The higher self is often much gentler, more fluid, more alive. It does not ask us to destroy ourselves to prove our worth. And one of the deepest healing lessons of oak is learning that strength and surrender are not opposites. Sometimes true strength is allowing yourself to rest enough to hear the soul again. Oak is not teaching weakness, it is teaching wise strength. The oak personality often forgot that true strength is not constant resistance. True strength also includes flexibility, trust, receiving, rest, allowing life to support you too. Many oak people have an almost noble quality to them. They're very courageous, very loyal, very dependable. They often carry suffering silently. They do not like showing vulnerability. They hate disappointing others. They often bite their tongue instead of admitting pain. And because of this, many people around them do not even realize how much they are really carrying. But eventually, the soul starts asking for something different. Not endless performance, not endless survival, but reconnection. Reconnection to joy, to softness, to emotional life, to receiving support instead of only giving it. When people start taking oak, something very beautiful often begins to happen. the inner pressure starts decreasing. The energy starts flowing more naturally again. They remain strong, but not in such a forced way. And they begin realizing, I do not have to destroy myself to prove my worth. And that is a profound transformation. They start to realize they have a duty to themselves too, taking care of themselves too, even first. Because healthy oak energy is not weak at all. Healthy oak energy is super powerful, still reliable and courageous. But now, strength is not based on struggle alone. It becomes alive again. So if you recognize yourself in this remedy, if you are always the one carrying everything, always enduring, always surviving, always continuing, no matter what, then oak might be one of the remedies your nervous system and soul has been waiting for. And maybe your healing right now is not about becoming stronger. Maybe it is about finally allowing yourself to soften too. If you want to move forward in life in a gentle and soft way using Bach flower remedies such as oak, but you don't know how to begin, or you feel completely stuck using the remedies, come to my masterclass where you'll get the insight, first steps to heal, and the tools to do so. If this video helped you, you can do me a little favor. Leave me a comment. I try to read all of them. Send this to someone who might need this, or leave another video playing in the back. It helps me enormously and it's free. Thank you so much for being here with me. I loved making this video, and I'll see you in the next one.